The sun had just dipped behind the trees when Marcus Johnson heard the faint creak of his front door opening. His heart stopped. He wasn't expecting anyone. And yet there she was. HOA Karen, stepping inside uninvited, clipboard in hand. Eyes scanning his living room as though she owned every inch of it. She muttered about an inspection, but Marcus knew the truth. This was intimidation, pure and simple. Anger boiled under his skin, yet he kept his voice calm. One wrong word, one wrong movement, and this evening could spiral into chaos. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're re-watching from. I love knowing who is listening. Karen's steps echoed through the hardwood, each one deliberate, confident. Marcus swallowed the lump of fear rising in his throat. He had lived here quietly, paying attention to every rule, every regulation. Yet she marched into his home like it was her kingdom. He thought about calling the police, but before he could reach for his phone, a different sound reached his ears. The low rumble of a truck outside, then the authoritative click of boots on the porch. It was his cousin, Sheriff Daniel Brooks, and from the moment Daniel appeared, the air shifted. Karen paused mid-step, clipboard trembling slightly in her hands. She had underestimated Marcus, underestimated the family that stood behind him. Marcus took a deep breath, letting courage replace fear. He faced Karen. "You're not authorized to enter my home," he said firmly, his voice echoing through the still house. The tension thickened, vibrating in the air like a live wire. Karen's lips tightened into a thin line. Her smug confidence faltered. Daniel stepped inside, each movement deliberate, commanding. He didn't shout, didn't threaten, but his presence alone made Karen freeze. "Evening, Karen. May I ask why you're inside my cousin's home uninvited?" His voice carried the weight of authority and the calm inevitability of justice. Karen floundered. I was doing an inspection," she stammered, glancing nervously at the clipboard that suddenly seemed useless. "The rules don't give you the right to break into someone's home," Daniel replied, voice steady, eyes unflinching. "And you should know better." Outside, a few neighbors had begun to gather, drawn by the murmurs of confrontation. They watched quietly, holding their breaths, sensing the moral imbalance. Some whispered, others shifted uneasily, but all eyes were on Karen, whose bravado had finally cracked. The wind rustled through the trees, carrying the soft sounds of the approaching night, adding a cinematic tension to every heartbeat in the crowd. Marcus stood tall, feeling the surge of relief and pride. He had been violated, yes, but he wasn't alone. His cousin's calm authority and the silent support of the neighborhood amplified the message. Intimidation would not be tolerated. Karen's fingers fidgeted with her pen, and for the first time, she realized this was not a game she could win. Daniel continued, "You will leave now, and I expect a formal apology for trespassing. Any further attempts will be met with legal action." His eyes met Karen's unyielding. The quiet intensity in the room was almost suffocating, and Karen's face flushed a deep crimson. She muttered something inaudible and backed toward the door, leaving the house with a dignity that had long since fled her posture. The neighbors outside began murmuring among themselves, some clapping softly, acknowledging the quiet triumph of justice. Marcus exhaled, feeling a weight lift from his shoulders. He turned to Daniel, gratitude shining in his eyes. Daniel nodded, the pride in his expression reflecting the bond of family and the strength of standing together. Later that night, Marcus closed the door behind him, and the home felt whole again. The violation, though brief, had been met with courage, authority, and unwavering moral clarity. The lesson lingered in the air. Entitlement and arrogance crumble when met with calm, righteous power. Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. And as Marcus sat with a cup of tea, the moonlight spilling softly across his living room, he realized that some boundaries once crossed can only be restored through courage, unity, and the strength of standing firm. If you found this story moving, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more cinematic, emotionally charged stories from Cinematic Whispers. Your support keeps these powerful tales alive and helps justice, courage, and truth reach more viewers every day.